What is up, guys, and welcome back to Negan Plus. Today, guys, I got you another video. This is gonna be using AetherXS2 in my Samsung S22 Plus. As I mentioned before in a couple of videos, the AetherXS2 is the best PlayStation 2 emulator in mobile. And I also mentioned a couple of times that this emulator is currently available for Mac with the N1 chip. So I started with the N1. Those are the only ones that are compatible with this emulator. So there's some hope that hopefully we will see this emulator on the iPad and our iPhone. Since the iPad has the N1 chip and the chips inside of the iPhones are Apple Silicon, which is this this emulator is available on Apple Silicon as a beta as it is right now, and hopefully we actually get to see those on iPhone and iPad as well. So like I said before, this is the best PlayStation 2 emulator available for mobile, and is way better than PC, way better than play the PlayStation 2 emulator. That, don't get me wrong, that emulator has a lot of potential, but it has a lot of issues when you're trying to run your games. And EtherXS2 is actually has all if not the majority of the features from PCSX2, and it was actually recommended and blessed by the developer of PCSX2. And this guy made this port of that emulator uh for mobile called AetherXS2, and it's one of the best experience I have playing on mobile some PlayStation 2 games. I also said before that it has some sketchy ones on the Play Store, but I actually link you guys to this one, which is free. You shouldn't be paying anything for it, and it's actually the better version available on the Play Store. So we're gonna be testing a couple of games, maybe one or two, depending how long this is gonna be. We don't want it to drag this out way too long. I don't want you guys to lose any focus, and I want you guys to see the performance, how this is doing, because the performance here is amazing. I love it. I'm gonna be using again the Samsung S22 Plus, and I'm gonna be running this on Samsung Dex. So we're gonna switch to Dex mode, and now we're going to go and open my game launcher. There we go. Let's look for AetherXS2. Found it. As you guys can see, I have a couple of games already here installed. I got Extermination, Fallout, Brotherhood. Still, it's not a popular game, but it was for the time it was a pretty good co-op couch experience. So, and I kind of grew up with this game in a way. So that's why I still play that game, have it in my library, and of course, the OG multiplayer that brought me joy, the Socon series. Socon US Navy SEAL Combined Assault, Socon US Navy SEALs 3. And but we're gonna try all of them today, but we're gonna try to choose maybe one or two. And for started, I want to try with this game specifically, because one thing that this emulator has that the PS2 emulator doesn't have is, just like with CSX2, they have some fixes for a specific game and many games that allow you to fix some of the issues known for many emulation games, PS2 emulation games. One of the issues with this one right here is, without any fixes applied, when you try to play the game, it's gonna be a movie playing, an FM movie. Those type of movie you won't be able to see it if you're using one of the following renderers. You're using OpenGL or Vulkan, you won't be able to see the movies, the cutscenes that are there, because they were already pre-recorded. You won't be able to see them unless you switch to the software render, which is gonna give you a horrible performance when you're playing your games. But if you want to see all the cutscenes, you will have to have that on. So this game actually has a fix. Let me show you right here. It has actually effects for those type of game. It has a fix. Let me see if I could show you here. The fix executable BIOS games. I don't know. Let me see if I could do it without triggering the game. Because if I click on any of these, I think I might trigger the game by mistake. Let me see if I could choose okay, click out of there. This one, let me see if I could choose. There you go. Resume, low stack. There we go. Game properties. So right here, let me see. They have this option game fixes. So like I said before, the only way for to see with some of the games, the cutscene, you need to switch off any backend OPGA or Vulkan off, and you gotta switch to software rendering, which is gonna give you a horrible experience when you're playing your games, but you will be able to see the movies with this emulator, which which play the PlayStation 2 emulator doesn't have is game fixer. One of the game fixes I need to enable for this specific game is this one right here, the one that I was telling you about. Use a software render for FMV videos. So basically, when a cutscene is playing and you're not playing the game regularly, it's just a cutscene playing in the background. It will automatically switch to software render so you could see the movie, and when the cutscene is done, it's gonna switch back to your backend. So stuff like that, little things like that, that give you a better experience. That's one of the stuff that is missing on the Play PS2 emulator, and that's why I'm hoping they bring this emulator for iOS, which I already mentioned is already available on Mac on beta, only for Mac computers with an M1 chip and up. So without that fix, this game basically every time you play in a cutscene, it wouldn't work at all. So now let me start the game. You can see all the stack that I have it on the screen. Top right corner, you can see the performance. You can see the version of the emulator I'm using, and you can see that I'm using a Samsung device. And my renderer of choice is Vulkan, so I'm using Vulkan, and you can see right here the performance right here for the screen resolution. Even though the screen resolution in this phone is only 1080p, but I have it connected to a monitor, I could actually upscale this, but I like to put a little bit higher to see to push to the limit, and on top of that, it's gonna super sample some of those resolution over. Let me skip this movie here. I want you to see something very important. You guys saw when the movie was playing that the resolution completely dropped. If because it was using the software rendering, it wasn't using the resolution I set up for the game. So now I'm back to the game, and you guys can see actually I had the full rendering resolution that I set up the game to have. But this resolution right here is greater than 1440p and 3K, so it's going to 2K, 3K. Well, this game actually performs really good. 4K actually, you could play this game at 4K without no issues, 30 60 frames. But we only do that just to test the game, the performance of the phone. But when I'm playing regularly, I just go back to even 1080p or at least 1440p, just for the fun of it. So as you guys can see, the resolution drop because it's playing that movie right now in the background using the software rendering. So I'm going to skip this for the sake of time so you guys can see the game working. You're going to see all the performance here on the top. There you go. And you can see this is in-game cutscene. Those cutscenes were perfectly fine in this emulator. All the type of cutscene that the guy you saw at the beginning, if you don't have the game fix on, you're gonna see that it's gonna be just a black screen. So everything is working fine. It's working fine. It's just that option wasn't selected by you. That's one of the stuff that the play is missing. It doesn't have that option to add game fixes, which could face some issues like this. And I always go to this game to test it out because this is one of the games that I tested the most with the play emulator. As you guys can see, it's a day and night different, night and day different with this game. You could see that actually looks really good, and it's performing well, and it's staying around the 60 FPS, and it's running again. The resolution is high. Is running higher than 1440p. Let me see if I can figure it out to open the menu without quitting the game. Nope. Doing this from the phone is kind of hard, like to bring down that menu. Let's see. I think if I click in here, I should be able to bring the menu so I could show you some other stuff. Let me see if I could do that without quitting the game. Come on. I'm using a PS4 controller, so I could actually use this touchpad as a mouse pad. So that's helped me out a lot when I'm doing all of this stuff. Let me see. Let me show you the settings right now that I'm running on the game. Let's see. You see right here, you have the option to toggle to software. Let me just show you how the game looks when you toggle this on. Boom. You still can play the game, but you lose all that beautiful quality. You lose all the quality by just using the software rendering. But it runs kind of steady. But you see, you actually some of the performance get in the red, so it's getting a little bit worse. But it, basically, this is the way to play on the place you want to see the cutscene. But I try everything on the Play emulator, and you cannot even see the cutscene. So that's why we got that fix in there, because that fix will take care of that when the movies are playing. So we actually have this beautiful performance. Look at the difference. Look how good this look now compared to before. So now let me. No, I got a little bit sidetracked. I apologize for that. Let me go back in here and and see some of the settings here. There we go. Oh, it's right here in the top corner. We're gonna go to the wheel eyes. We're here. There we go. We're gonna go to graphics. Graphics. There we go. Oh, there we go. Into the controller now. Graphics. You see, I can, like I said before, I'm using Vulkan. I'm not using any of this right now. I'm not scaling it more than that because I already had it's already, I have global settings right now. I don't remember exactly which one I'm using, but I have the global setting already applied. I will have to go back and check. But as you guys can see, the resolution there is actually pretty high. It's close to the 4K. If I remember correctly, 4K is around these numbers here, and I think the last option is up to 5K to upscale the game. But we're using some of the default settings, and this one is using the global settings. I think I have it like this on global, if I'm not mistaken. But let me just put it here. But the off option, I don't want to mess it up because I don't want to put two different resolutions at the same time when it's taking care of that. Let me go back to the game now. Yeah, it's already using those settings. It's been using those settings. I just wanted to show you guys that I'm using Vulkan. Another way for me to show you guys in there. So you guys can see here, the game's running pretty good. And this is again a 9-day different compared to with a Play emulator. And you guys know that iPad Pro has a lot of power. And you saw how my iPad, even my iPad struggled running this game because everything, the graphics wasn't missing. It needs a lot of work. Compared with my iPad, this phone is not all that. The iPad has a way better processor than the one of my Samsung S22 Plus, and you guys saw the performance. Let me see. Let me go back. As you guys can see, this game runs good. Let me see if I have a save up. I think I have a state for this game here, which is a little bit kind of open world. And this game is a little bit more heavy because I tried to stream and play this game at the same time, and I had to drop the quality a lot so I could do a stream test for this game here when I was streaming directly from the phone because the phone was overheating and that was a lot of work for it. A lot of work for the phone trying to play this game and stream at the same time. Let me see if I have a save state ready. Let's see, low stake. There we go. I do have one. Perfect. I do have one. You see it right here. I could show you real quick. This game is running between 30 to 60, but as you guys see, my refresh rate on the B is 60, but the game is not running at my refresh rate is 60. It's running at actually at 30 frames per second. I haven't figured out how to unlock that without messing the whole emulator up. So I just need to keep playing around. But as you guys can see, this is an open world area, kind of. The game looks gorgeous and it runs perfectly fine. It's running at standard 30 frames per second. I wish it could run a little bit higher than that, but I need to mess around with the settings. But it's actually running pretty good compared with that Play. I don't remember exactly on the Play, but I think Play crashed me trying to play this game in there. and I don't think it didn't even load it. The resolution for this one, since this game is a little bit more heavy, I have like around greater than 1080p for this game, because if you go way too high with some games, because some games are more power hungry than others, and they actually push the used to push the PlayStation 2 to the limit. Look what happened if I try to go higher on the resolution of this game. Let's go. Sorry, let's go to 6. Let's see what happens if I go to 6. No, it didn't change here. No, it doesn't change here. I have to go to the main. Oh no, if I do that, I'm gonna mess up my whole global settings. Let me just see how it is. Because at least the game, and you guys can see the game is actually pretty much running. And this is what I would like to see with it play. Like I said, Emulator has a lot of potential, but it needs a lot of work. But it's only like 1 or 2 people only working in the Emulator, so I understand that and the struggle. That's why when it comes with a new update, I check it out. I make a video, let you guys know what's good with that update, and I usually do some testing also to see how it's performing. But this emulator performed a lot better compared with the Play emulator, as you guys can see here. Let's see one more, and I think that's it. Let me do Fallout Brotherhood still. I think I have a save state. Resume. Oh, I don't have one. I thought I have one. Oh, I knew I have one. There we go. Some of the settings that you guys see how I'm running the game is because I was doing a lot of testing. So when I locked the resolution to those games to certain resolutions you guys been seeing right here, is because those were like the best settings that I have available for me to use. And I believe if I go higher than this, specifically for this game, I believe if I go a little bit way too high, it's gonna actually break the game, because this emulator used to crash with this game, and with this game specifically, every single time I mess with the resolution settings, because this game is a little bit. It seems like it's not that demanding, but for also when you try to play this game on the PC, you will see a couple of interesting stuff happening while playing specifically this game title I'm playing right now. Let's see. Nope, the resolution didn't change. Nope, it's actually locked to my global resolutions, which if I change it, it will mess up all my other settings. So I'm just gonna leave it how it is, because this is the best setting for this game. Trust me, when you have this in your phone screen, it looks a lot better than having this right now in the big screen. But well, the video was a little bit pretty long to be honest with you, but I just wanted to show you a couple of stuff, guys. So I hope you guys enjoy. If you have any more questions, make sure to leave it down below and the comments below. And you enjoy this type of content, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. That help me out a lot, and it can help the channel grow as well. And also, if you would like to support the channel, you could also become a channel member. I started the membership program on my channel, and is as low as 99 cents per month. That helps me financially, and it helps support the channel for buying equipment that I'm gonna be using, like testing more games and stuff like that. So once again, guys, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.